I would say it's kind of like how you have access to your phone and you have access to unlimited information.
Yes.
But the unlimited information provides no guidance. And I feel that in the world that we live in today, it's kind of the sense of, oh, I'm free to do this, I'm free to do that. Yeah, that doesn't mean you're free to slap your mama either.
Welcome to the podcast from Doug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
What's up, y'all? You know what it is. This is Lady Miz from the Ground Up Productions, and there's only one way to go from here. I have a superstar in the building today. We got new Lewi in the building. What you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. Good to meet you guys. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor.
Thank you. Well, listen, it's an honor to have you here. Again, you know, we met you before. Obviously, you was in the short film. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into all of that.
That was a lot of fun, by the way.
It was, wasn't it? I had a ball. And shout out to you because you like a whole professional. Okay?
Try to be.
I got to learn from you, okay? So, listen, before we get into it, I want, for those who may not know who you are, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself and what you do? So
I go by the name New Lewi, which kind of has a long history with I grew up in Jamaica. So I came from Jamaica, came here as a teenager at age 13. But in Jamaica, I was part of this thing called cadets, kind of like junior soldiers in a way.
Okay.
And they would always call us by our last name, which was Lewinson. But for me, they got tired of saying Lewinson. They just said Lewi. So
cut it short.
Yeah, they just cut it short. And it's interesting because I found out later my dad's name that they used to call him Lewi also. So then they came up with the term, oh, that's the old Lewi. This is the new Lewi.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that's part of it. There's a whole deeper meaning. We don't have to go into it unless you want to.
Well, I'm nosy, so I'm sure so are they. So let us know the deeper meaning. We want the deep stuff.
So for me, that part is dealing with the ancestry, remembering where I came from. The other part, there's 3 parts to it. It's like a holy trinity to the name.
Okay.
So the second part of it with New Lewi, I remember I used to be heavy in reading the Bible and studying history. And I used to have a Bible where it kind of had a Hebrew side and the English side. Okay. But the Hebrew side, it was still in English, but just pronouncing certain words. And the way they spell Levi was Lewi with the little thing on top. We say Lewi.
Okay.
So I got the revelation of, this was, by the way, deep into meditation. I'm talking about like 2 months before I decided on the artist name.
Okay.
So that part of it was remembering I'm a new Levi, I'm a royal priesthood. And then the third part of it, which scared me a little bit in some of my family, is during meditation, I kept hearing New Lucifer, which scared a lot of people because they're like, I told some of my family, is like, Lord, he might call himself New Lucifer, pray for him, Lord, my God, no, you can't do that, please. Sometimes when you get certain revelation, don't be quick to tell certain people. Because for me, it was still, the meaning was really to understand that with the story of Lucifer, is that he is a light bearer. Right?
Okay.
And that was the revelation of, I'm calling you to be a light bearer. I'm calling you to be a carrier of the light. But then there's another side to it. And the other side is if you don't do what you feel called to do and what you're supposed to do, then there will be a great fall. So that's where, whenever someone is calling me, whether you call me New Louie, New Lewi, just Louie, for me, every time I hear it, it's a deeper meaning. It's one, remembering my ancestry, two, remembering I'm a royal priesthood, and three, remembering I'm a light bearer, I'm a carrier of the light. And if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then I'm going to fall. It'll be great.
That's deep. You see, and you was trying to not give us that information. Are you serious? I love to learn and hear stuff like that because it's a deeper meaning to everything. You know what I mean? Right. It's not just, I'm just New Louie. You know what I mean? You got it comes from a deeper place and meaning. Yeah.
It's deep. And it's funny because my legal name, it's Orville. So it's Orville Lewinson. Now, Orville in Hebrew, Or is light and then Ville is a city. So it kind of like when people say nothing happens by accident. Right, so it's kind of that moment of, I'm a light bearer and my name is that I'm a city of light. And it's interesting with the name Orville is that the origin of it is French. And the French term is that it means the golden city. Really? So I'm a light bearer. I'm the golden city. So when I hear that name, people, they might not know the meaning, but for me, all those things are ringing in my head. So they say, hey, New Louie. It's like royalty, royal priesthood, golden city, light bearer, carry off the light. Do what you're supposed to do or else you will fall. And that's it.
Listen, let me tell you why that's so deep, because people don't understand the power of words.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't understand the power of words. And like, I used to call myself Misery. Right, because I used to rap and hard, but somebody gave me that name. Like that used to be like how I used to rap. Now I remember my stepdad telling me, "Be careful what you say. Be careful the words that come out your mouth and what you call yourself, because you're bringing something on, an energy." Right. So that's why I'm like, let me get rid of the misery and this. I'm a lady. I'm grown up, so this Lady Miz. I still got a little heart, but not really, because I'm grown up now and I'm a woman now. So when I hear you say what you're saying, and it's like, even when someone calls your name, it's a reminder of all those great things of who you are and what you represent. So that's deep. I like that. Okay.
And it's interesting because with the whole music career, I've gone through just being done with it.
Really?
I'm not some young guy. I'm an older guy, you know what I'm saying? But I've gone through years of, okay, I had enough. I don't want to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. But it got to the point that every time I stopped, somebody kept pulling me back into it. Every single time. And I felt like this last time when I was pulled back into it, I feel like it's at a level now where if I stop now, I'm not going to get that call to go back into it. And that's going to be the great fall. Ooh. So I feel like this is at a level now where it's like, you keep seeing me calling, whether you want to say God, the universe, the ancestors, whatever. It all linked to the same thing. Right. And they're calling me to do this for some reason that is even beyond my understanding. But I feel now, because I've quit so many times in the past, it's gotten to the point where my ancestors have said, all right, you quit this time, you're on your own. I'm going to leave you alone.
They said, listen, because you have a purpose.
Right.
And you have a message that you got to send through your music, because music is very powerful. Right. You understand? So that's look, I could totally relate. Oh my God. Okay. This is good stuff. What? So you said you stopped before. What was the reason?
I mean, there's been so many reasons. I mean, I'm a dad. I got 4 kids. I got to provide for the family. I mean, especially when it comes to juggling, bringing food on the table, and you trying to be an artist. Right. I mean, it's a lot to juggle.
It is.
And a lot of times it was more of the responsibilities that I have. Mm-hmm. Right. And a lot of times, shout out to the wife. We've gotten to the point where now we can work together, but that time management, it took years to really get it down packed. But every time I've stopped is because, okay, I need to face reality. I just need to do my 9 to 5. Don't worry about this. But it's gotten to the point where my wife and I and our children, we have an understanding that it doesn't even matter whether I make it or not. It's just, this is therapeutic for me. I need it. I need to do it. And because it's funny, because I remember I would tell my kids, like, they're all into sports, I always say, hey, get up, got to do it again. Doesn't matter how many times you fall in. Don't quit.
Yes.
And I remember hearing this voice, like, I hope you're taking in the lesson. You're trying to teach
leading
your children,
by example, right?
So at that point, I took it seriously. Like, I need to say that to myself. And I started doing it. And in my kids' eyes, they see me as making it.
Good.
Because they see me just doing what I love to do. Right? So because of that, the burden is no longer on me. Like, I got to make it to a certain level. So because the burden is no longer on me, I'm just having fun, baby.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Life. Yes. Listen, it's so funny because your story, it sounds like mine to a certain extent, because I've been doing music for a very long time, and it was on and off. And then I did stop at one point, and I was just like, you know what? And then I got pregnant with my son, and I was just like, no, I'm leaving this alone. I got to focus on family and home, and but like you said, it's like when you have a gift or a calling or a purpose or a passion,
right?
You can't allow society to put a certain stigma on you and say, this is what success look like, and if you don't make it to this part or this level, no, success is never giving up on what you love to do. It's continuing to do it because that's what your calling is. Here's the thing. I've heard in some of your music, not all of it, but I heard some of it. And I see that you have good messages in your music. So you're putting out the message, and I'm sure it's reaching and changing people. You made it because that is why God gave you that gift. You understand what I'm saying? When
preaching now,
you already know, baby. Listen, no.
Toyota leaving the Honda.
Oh, we speaking in tongues, okay? No, it's very true though, because a lot of I watch a lot of people give up because of what other people think, because they're afraid of failing. But the real failure is when you quit.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the real failure. So, salute to you and everybody out there, including myself, who are continuing to do what they love and not allowing anybody to put their expectations on what they think success is.
Yes.
And
what ties into that too is taking care of yourself.
Amen.
That's what I realized, because a lot of people, they'll say, oh, you're doing this is a young man sport or a young man game. It's like, well, if you are properly taking care of yourself, then all that goes out the window, right?
There you go.
Take care of yourself. That's what started me on the journey of doing a better job watching what I eat, making sure I exercise, taking care of myself, right? Because, I'm in my 40s, but I don't look like I'm in my 40s.
Exactly.
Take care of yourself.
So let me ask you, let's find out what is taking care of yourself. Well, what is your diet like? How often do you go to the gym and exercise?
I mean, the gym for me is usually between 3 to 4 days a week.
Okay.
And when I'm not going to the gym, I'm doing yoga at home.
Oh, nice.
So
tell the guys, please, about yoga.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Rap artists, you see them stretching.
It's nothing wrong.
Yeah, but taking the time to exercise, and when it comes to, I guess the best way to describe my diet, it's more like the Mediterranean diet.
Okay.
For me, I don't eat meat, but a lot of fruits, vegetables. And it's funny because no matter what diet you follow, if you just add extra fruits and vegetables and at least less of the other stuff, you're already on the right track.
Right.
And so that's really, for me, I just got tired of eating meat, to be honest. And so it's just the occasional fish, fruits, and vegetables. And
okay, that's very good.
Do intermittent fasting.
You do intermittent fasting? Yeah. Is that on a regular basis? Like, how often do you do it?
I'm used to it that, like the time that I have break fast, or what you call breaking your fast, is usually around 12, 1 o'clock.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because some people, they say, oh, you don't eat breakfast, you just eat lunch. It's like, no, lunch is break
that is
fast.
your
That's
right.
when you're breaking your fast.
Because that's your first meal of the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So usually anywhere between 12, 1 o'clock I'd eat, and then by 7:30 the latest is when I would eat, because I want to make sure I have at least 3 hours before I
lay down and sleep with that.
I
So
want
you
to just fill my belly. I'm just laying there.
right. No, listen, that look, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of sicknesses and a lot of things that happen come from what they put in their body.
Right.
You know, self-care is very important, and just making those minor changes, like you said, intermittent fasting, makes a big deal, because your body is not working to now break down the food. It's now working on healing and doing the things that it needs to do, because it's a self-healing machine. And a lot of people don't get that. So, you know, shout out to you for that. I hope somebody listening is inspired by this.
Yeah,
for
especially
sure.
for the Black community, because you got to understand, for us Black people, they have attacked us in so many ways. And people don't realize that's also in our food supply.
Amen.
Especially in the ghetto areas, right? People will set up shop in your area and they don't care what they feed you. They just know they get money from you.
And that's it.
So you got to realize, okay, there is a war against me. So I need to take responsibility and take care of myself.
Amen, amen, and amen.
Health session
No, but this is good stuff though, because first of all, you're making a lot of great points here. First, one, they love to say like poor areas or Black areas, or you know, urban areas.
Right.
But here's the one thing that people have to understand. These people set up businesses in these areas. They get wealthy from it. They get rich from it. So where are they getting that money from? They're getting the money from the people that we think don't have access to cash, but they do. It's just about where they're spending their money, and the fact that they don't have financial education to understand how to make the money that they have grow for them. So some of that comes from also teaching, you know what I mean? Teaching and understanding finances, which a lot of people or places or schools do not do. I'm not saying none of them, but some of them do not. But that's a very great point you made. And, you know, it honestly, yeah, we're being attacked. But you know what? To tell you the truth, it's not just us. I think this whole country, America, period, is full of fake fruits with no seeds and GMOs and all types of things in there that is killing us.
You know what you just remind me of? It wasn't a documentary, but they were talking about, I think it was Fruit Loops. And they were showing how they were making the healthy version in the US to sell it abroad. So they make it here to sell the healthy stuff abroad, but yet feed us the crap.
And why? Because we want colors? Because
that was part of it. They were saying that it's more colorful, and they know in America they'll accept it. So
you know, that is a problem that we need to change, people.
Yes.
Because okay, that means we only care about how things look. So then they're trying to say it's our fault.
Right.
When you really listen.
You see it in food, but then on a bigger scale, we're dealing with that subconsciously.
Yes.
Like, let me take care of the outside and change my butt and change my cheeks and change my nose. Right. You take care of all these outside, but the inside is rotten. They're
just forgetting about From
the food down to everything is
like yeah, you gotta do, listen, the outside, inside, take care of both things. I think that's very important. Yes, absolutely. New Louis is on fire today, okay? Because listen, you see why he does what he do in his music, because you have a calling and you have a gift. Talk to me about you as a poet, because it kind of go hand in hand when it comes to music.
I mean, for me, I feel that there is so much for me to say. When it comes to describing my artistry, if I break it down to 3 words,
okay,
I'm a Jamaican hip rocker.
Jamaican hip rocker, okay.
Because you will hear the reggae vibes, because that's where I'm from. You will hear the hip hop and you will hear the rock, because all those 3 major things had a strong influence in my life. And because of being a father, even before I was a father, because I have 2 younger brothers, and my brothers, they were much younger. Like, when I mean much younger, that when my mom, who was a single mom, they saw me as dad, how much older I was.
Okay.
And, you know, changing their diaper. I still tell them to this very day. It's funny because the 2 younger brothers, one is in the Marines and one is in the Army. And like, listen, I could still whoop y'all. Don't start with me. I used to change your diapers, boy.
Oh, everybody love using that line. That's the famous line.
But the point I was getting at is because at such a young age, I had to be a father figure. And so that what plays out in my music.
Okay.
Is that in my music, everything I do, I'm expressing fatherhood in some kind of way.
Gotcha.
Everything you listen to. I mean, of course, there's a little tad of different styles and different stories I'm talking about. But if you listen to all my music, it all has to do with, man, this guy is motivational. He's father. He's telling you to get up, stop complaining, dude.
Right.
It's all about, like, I have this song called Move, Get Out the Way, I'm Ready to Change the World. And people would hear that song and they would say, man, you make me want to really get up and go do something. Get off this couch.
That's a nice little flip. You know, Luda had Move, Get Out the Way.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
It's funny because I was in a studio really with a rock band. And we were just vibing and we were messing with Ludacris song. And then we kind of just spiced it up and made it a whole rock song. It was just like, just move, get out the way, cause I'm ready to change the world. And we just started going.
Wait, wait. What? You sing?
I do a little singing. You know.
Okay, I know about the rapping. I know about the but right there, I heard it. Oh my goodness.
I do a little bit of singing. It's funny because my cousin.
You sound great.
My cousin was a choir director.
Really?
And she would drag, you know, and they talk about, you know, that old joke that, I don't know if you ever heard that old joke about drug. Like, yeah, I used to dig drugs. My wife drugged me to church and she drugged me to.
Oh, no, I know.
That's the drug I'm on. She drugged me to church. She drugged me to prayer service. So that's what my cousin Monique was for me. It's like everywhere she took me, I had to be in some type of choir rehearsal. And because of her, I started singing more. So.
Wow.
Singing, rapping.
Okay. So this is so I'm glad that I'm learning all this. Like I said, I kind of wanted to be like shocked when I talk to you to know like the things that you have going on. Now, who would you say inspired you as far as the artists that's out there when it comes to the three genres, the reggae, hip hop, and rock?
Well, my number one rapper of all time that I love, and he doesn't get a lot of credit, is Busta Rhymes.
Oh, okay.
And because Busta is also, background is Jamaican.
Right.
So I was very inspired from him coming from that background. Same thing with Notorious B.I.G., his parents coming from Jamaica.
Yeah.
So there was always that influence of Jamaica and with hip-hop, the reggae and hip-hop combination. But when I first came to this country, I was very big into swimming when I was really young.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I took too long of a break. When I got back into swimming, I wasn't as good, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, but when I first came, I came because of swimming. And for some reason, rock music is what got me into the mood to just jump off the blocks and swim.
Really?
And so I got into Lenny Kravitz. And Lenny Kravitz was the one that got me more into rock music.
Nice,
so
yes.
Because of that. What was his song? I've got to get away. I've got to fly away.
Yes. Yeah.
So I used to remember that song and thinking of jumping off the blocks.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to Lenny Kravitz.
Yes.
Getting me into rock music.
Yeah, he was at the Knicks game yesterday. Big shout out to him. He's in. Yes, the Knicks doing their thing. They did their thing. So I know you had a show yesterday. So tell us how that went.
It was a great show. We had a lot of fun. I did a reggae song. It's funny because I did a reggae song, a hip hop song, and I did a combination of rock hip hop song. And it was a lot of fun because one of the songs I did, there's a song that's called The Real McCoy, which is based on Elijah McCoy. If you don't know who Elijah McCoy is, go Google him. But let me tell you the little story.
Okay.
So Elijah McCoy, his parents they fled from the U.S. via the Underground Railroad and went to Canada. So in Canada, they finally experienced some freedom. They had Elijah McCoy. And Elijah McCoy, when he's around 3, then they went back to the U.S. But Elijah, he was very creative, and they noticed like, hey, we need to get him into something, maybe help him get a degree, which they couldn't really do in the U.S. So they sent him to Scotland. And in Scotland, he became a mechanical engineer. But when he came back to the U.S., they said, well, a black man can't be a mechanical engineer. That's not the role for people of color. So he couldn't find a job at first, but then he ended up getting a job as an oiler. It was kind of 2 jobs in one, oiler and a fireman. It's kind of funny how it goes full circle with his parents escaping via the Underground Railroad and now him coming back and working on the railroads. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, so he started working on the trains. His job was every time the train needed to stop so that he could put oil in the train, and then it continued. So he saw the inefficiency of that. And because of that, he created this oil cup. That was his first patent, so that the trains could continue going and the oil cup would automatically lubricate the machines for it to keep going. But because of that, a lot of his competitors saw how cool it was and decided to do it as well, but it wasn't as genuine. So because of that, the engineers especially, they didn't have the real deal. They said, don't give me this fake stuff. Give me the real McCoy. And so that phrase came. It's like, yo, give me the real McCoy. Give me the real deal.
Yeah, no,
that's how it became famous.
That's funny you say, and thanks for educating us on that, because I've heard the term, but I never knew like all the details and where it came from. You know what I mean? Look at I'm getting schooled and we getting some education. Okay. See, look, this is why I love the different creators to pull up here. You know what I mean? This is dope. All right. So you did all 3 of the songs yesterday. You're performing. As far as when you doing spoken words or poetry, do you mix that up when you're doing shows, or do you like kind of keep it separate?
To be honest, I wasn't really into spoken word like that. It was just music. But because they go hand in hand, there are times then they would call me to perform something and I'm really just take a song.
Oh, and then you turn it into
a poetic thing, right?
Okay.
So I wasn't into poetry like that, but I was always surrounded by poets.
Okay.
Because of that, I've gotten more involved into it.
So the music, you just take your music and make it poetic. Okay.
Because sometimes sometimes you're bobbing to the beat, you're not paying attention to all the words.
Right.
So there are times I like to either strip it down or just remove the beat, just to say, just take the time to listen to what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. Now, the industry today, it's a lot going on. There's many different messages in the music. Somebody like yourself, tell me what you think about the message in the music today, and then tell me what you feel separates you from the rest.
Well, the music today, I feel that the floodgates are open, meaning that there is anything and everything, which is, in a sense, it's bad, because I feel that, well, I shouldn't say bad. I would say it's kind of like how you have access to your phone and you have access to unlimited information.
Yes.
But the unlimited information provides no guidance. And I feel that in the world that we live in today, it's kind of the sense of, oh, I'm free to do this, I'm free to do that. Well, yeah, that doesn't mean you're free to slap your mama either. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there still needs to be a certain code, a moral code to follow. And so I feel that because of being that father figure, that's the role I play. It's like, yes, there's a lot of freedom out there, but you need to structure your life. It's kind of the same thing when we're talking about food, right?
Right.
So, I have the freedom. Yeah, if I don't know that they're putting rat in the food as meat, it doesn't matter to me. I'm free to eat it, right? But
hey,
saying that's the case. I'm just
some people eating it. People talked about they eating the cats, they eating the dogs, but they was pulling up to the Chinese restaurant eating the cats and dogs willingly. So they wasn't the only ones.
So that's what I mean by everything. The floodgates are open. That yes, there's so many things that you have the quote unquote freedom to do.
Right.
But if you want to do what is best for you, you need to have some type of moral compass.
Yes.
And I feel that is what I provide. And because of being a man and being a father figure, that's what I bring. I bring that moral compass and showing all of man, showing the flaws, the struggle, being empowered. I'm showing all of that. And so I feel like that is what I bring, because especially in the world, and everybody's free to live the life that they want to live. Mm-hmm. For me personally, I want to be able to express what I feel, for me, what a man is and how a man should be portrayed in this world. Because yes, you have the freedom for people to express the way you want to express. And for me personally, I want to express what a man should be for me personally. And I want to see that being expanded in the world as well.
Okay. All right.
I feel like we need real men out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Needs to be done.
Absolutely, we do. And definitely we need order. You know, a lot of times, like you said, the structure, the order, there has to be something in place. Otherwise, people will just be breaking all types of laws and with no consequences or no moral, thing behind it. Absolutely. Have you ever had a situation where somebody asked you to do a song and they were talking about a message that you didn't approve of? And if you haven't, if that ever was to happen, how would you handle it?
You're saying they're asking for me to create a song?
Yeah, let's say an artist came up and they're like, yo, I really like your music, or I like you as an artist, let's do a song together. And then they come out with, a message like the shooting, stuff that doesn't represent what you represent. Right. Would you still do the song with them?
It's funny because I feel like without saying anything, I would do the song and drop a verse. That, let's say if it's a song where they're talking about, kill your brother, kill your father. And then I'm going to do a song like, I ain't about no killing my mother and killing me.
Yes.
Right,
okay.
Here goes my track. And see what the person says.
Take it or leave it.
Right, exactly.
Shots fired at you.
Exactly. You go in there like that, I'm going to go in it on you. You want to keep the verse? That's up to you. Oh, you want to do it together? Okay, let's do it. Here goes my verse.
Yes. It's funny because I've done a couple of songs with some people, and I honestly did that, is what you said. I kind of talked about the opposite. But I know, like, sometimes, I don't know if some artists would say, well, you know what, I don't even want to get on that. You know what I mean? But I don't disrespect anybody's creative thoughts. I don't know where it's coming from or what's inspiring it. Right. But just curious to know.
It's because of, like, when we were talking about the name and knowing I'm a light bearer. So if I feel like I am the carrier of the light, then I really don't care how dark it is, right? No matter where I go, I am the light, right?
Okay,
so
all
I
right,
can be in the darkest
right.
of places. It is what it is.
Yes, I like that.
Spark.
I like that. You know what? It's funny. What you saying that just made me think of this. A lot of times you have people, like, let's say the church, right? I'm not talking for it or against it or nothing. I'm just speaking in general what you just said. It's like sometimes it's like some people can be very judgmental in the church, but it's like sometimes some of the people in the darkest places, they might need that. You don't push them away. You bring the light to them, or you bring, you know what I mean? Right. So what you just said is just so good. It's like, okay, a lot of people would judge and say, and put people down or don't want to deal with them. But how do you get around them and maybe influence them to be better or show them something different? You know what I mean? Right. So that's what you're doing. And I think that's great. That's great. Okay.
And there needs to be a balance too, right? Because self-care is also important. I mean, I've seen people, if you've had problems with drinking, that doesn't mean, I'm gonna go to the bar to save somebody.
Right. Yes.
You're gonna be like, oh no, I don't need a drink. By the end of the night, you're like, shot.
They got me. They didn't pull me on their side.
Right. So that's when we talk about moral compass. There needs to be that balance. Like, yes, you need to be in the darkest of places, but you also know yourself.
Absolutely.
To know when to be like, yeah, I can't go there because of my personal problems I've had. So you gotta know,
right.
You gotta know your.
Gotta pick your battles too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Okay. Now, okay. So we talk about the music. We talk about what influenced you. Let's talk about you as a actor, because you also is into that too. So give us a little history on how you got started and what's going on with that.
So I'm always used to performing on stage. So acting, I saw it as the same thing. Right, I gotta remember my lyrics, so it was the same thing. I gotta remember my lines. I was always into acting at a young age. I never really got into anything specific. It was just more of just enjoying to perform.
Okay.
And I've met friends who they had a little business that they were starting, getting into film. They went to film school and they say, hey, you mind doing this? And I tried a couple mini movies here and there with some friends, and they say, man, you should do this more often.
Right.
All right. So I got more involved in that. But I haven't spent a lot of time into it. I stepped away for a while until meeting Elijah.
Big shout out to Elijah.
About hood pain.
Yeah, because I was going to get into that.
Yeah. And playing the role of Shotty. I said, okay. So I said, well, let me brush the rust off.
Get
back into it. And it felt good. It felt good going back into it.
Well, let me just say, that's good. Let me just say first, thank you for being in my short film. That was my very first short film. Big shout out to Elijah. Waiting for him to finish editing that. And I did it. It was a spinoff from a song that we had, but I was like, okay, the only way I'm going to learn how to do this is I just got to put myself out there. And I got to see where I like to be and where I don't like to be. Like, right. You know what I mean? So this is the only way I'm going to learn. So, but what I really liked about you was the fact that you knew your lines. Like, I'm telling everybody, where's the paper? They got to know their lines. And then you're looking at me like, lady, I know my damn lines. I'm like, where's your paper? He like, you don't need it. But it's funny what you said. And this is, some people should learn from that. Because what you told me was, I play it in the car and I just listen. It's like listening to a song over and over. You're gonna eventually just know the words. It's gonna be stamped in your head. Right. So you're very smart on how you make sure that you knew it and you played it so naturally. You didn't need like any type of nothing. Like you just did very well at it. So you can tell that you are a professional at everything that you do.
I try to be, because I feel like this is, whether I'm being paid or not, if I say I'm going to be involved in something, I want to give it 110%.
Yes,
right?
yes.
You got to. I can't just, half do it.
Right.
It's something, if you say this is the role you're going to play and you're okay with me doing it, then, and I say, yes, I accept doing it.
Right.
I got to put my all into it. If not, then why am I wasting my time?
There you go.
Right.
I love that. And shout out to everybody else that was in the film. I for my first time, that was a really great experience for me working with all of you guys, because I hear sometimes, certain stories, and it just looked like everybody there was happy to be doing it. There was no problems. Everybody was just, it was a good vibe and good energy.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It made me say, okay, I could do it again, but I'm hoping like, what if I don't find the same type of people? I'll be coming back to y'all. Like, I need you guys.
Yeah, I saw you post something about, I don't know if it was on IG, I saw it, and you were thinking of doing something else. I was like, hey, I'm available. If you need me to grow my beard out, look different, I'm going to do it.
Well, I have a lot of things lined up. I've just been trying to figure out which way to go, and we're trying to get all of these interviews out the way so we can have that lined up while we're working on other stuff. But I'm definitely going to be hitting you up for sure. Right, okay? Now,
that's a promise.
yes, it is. Hoping that we get to the bag so we can all be good, right? That's the overall goal. But no matter what, the main goal is that we are enjoying what we do, and we are loving and living in our passion and our purpose. And I think that's what's great. Is there anything that I did not ask you that you want people to know?
We've covered all grounds. I mean, you've heard about me, and you want to connect with me, again, it's Newi, NEWLEWI. Look it up.
On what platforms?
Just if you Google New Louis, you could find
me. He said Google me.
Just Google me.
You gonna find me.
I'm all over the place.
Yes,
Google New
worldwide.
You find it. But for me, yeah, you can connect with me that way. But with everything that we talked about, because my heart is so much into people and wanting them to grow. That's why we started off that way, pretty much talking about health and going after your goals and taking care of yourself. It's just to reiterate that.
Right.
Take the time to do that with everything, no matter what you have to do, with all the circumstances, the have to do jobs you need to go and pay the bills. I understand all of that, but you gotta take care of yourself. Find time to take care of yourself. For me, I'm busy, and because of that, I wake up 5:30 in the morning, so I have time to work out, meditate, take care of myself.
That's
before
beautiful.
Everybody else wake up.
That is beautiful. I love that, man. Listen, they better pay attention and start doing it, because that means a lot, because it's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good, but, mentally, spiritually, all of that, healthy, wealthy, all.
I like to call it my spamessive, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and financially.
Say, what is it called?
I call it spamessive.
Spamessive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta take care of my spamessive.
Okay.
Right? Spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and financially. That's my spamessive.
I love that. Okay. That's the thing you got to say every day and speak it into existence. Right. Yes. Before we end this interview, can you please tell anybody out there that is looking to get into the field of what you're doing, the younger generation, what is the message that you want them to know or hear?
Number one thing is consistency for me. So you might say, oh, how do I do this? And how do I do that? I mean, we're in the technology age, right? There's everything out there. It's funny because I like to say funny. I don't know why I keep saying
it's okay.
It's funny. It's funny. It's not really funny.
Said it ain't funny, don't laugh.
No, but the point I was going to make is my son, he's 12 years old, and he was moping. He was trying to figure out, what was he trying to make? I forgot. He was trying to make some kind of breakfast. Oh, French toast.
Okay.
Trying to make French toast. He's like moping because his big brother made French toast and, of course, didn't offer him any.
Oh, like, come on, big bro.
I know. It's like, I want to know how to make French toast. I was like, YouTube. I mean, everything.
Y'all YouTube everything else.
YouTube. And he did it. He just went on YouTube, followed it, and I just helped him do little things here and there. And he felt so accomplished.
Yes.
So I'm saying the world that we live in, everything is out there. So whatever you want to do, you just got to YouTube it and just see what it is, see what the steps are. And it's okay. Like my two biggest thing is consistency and not being afraid to fail.
Yes.
Right? Because failure is not really failure. Failure is just a lesson. Just help you to figure out, oh, this is the way I did it wrong, and now I know how to do it right.
There you go.
Right? So if you're looking at it that way, you fail and you get up and you go again, you fail and you get up and you go again. You remain inconsistent, and that's how you get better and better. So in this world that we live in, YouTube, Google, see how to do it. It's ask AI. Use AI to your advantage. Ask, how do I do this? And you take it step by step. And the thing is, goals can seem so big, right? You have your big, hairy, audacious goal. Mm-hmm. And it could seem so big. But instead of, have that big goal, but look at what's the next doable step, right?
Right.
Because if you're just looking at the big goal and say, oh, that's too big, and you step back. No, have your big goal and say, what's the next step that I know I can do it? And you take that little step, and you take that little step. And years down the line, you'd be like, whoa, I just went past 1,000 steps. How did I do that?
Yes.
So that's it. Consistency. Don't be afraid to fail. Keep going and just look for the next doable step.
All right. All right. I love that message. And thank you so very much. And thank you for coming here and sitting down and talking with me here and, with us from the Ground Up Productions. We appreciate it. And definitely looking forward to seeing what other stuff you got to put out to the world, the messages and everything you have going on. So thank you for that.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So, guys, this is going to conclude the show, but you know it ain't over yet. You got to get into that creators box because that's what it's about, baby. That's what it's about. But if you guys are not following us, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you hit that notification button so you know when we are putting up new stuff. And follow us on our social medias. Louis gave his. You want to give yours one more time?
So New Lewi, NEWLEWI, search on it on all platforms. It comes up.
And we are from the Ground Up Productions. Okay, we spell the Ebonics way. So it's from DA Ground Up Productions everywhere. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is From the Ground Up. There's only one way to go from here. And we're about to get into that creators box. Let's go.
All the way up.
Hey.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm originally from Jamaica, so sometimes I give you a little rapping, but I gotta give you a little Jamaican vibes too, you know what I'm saying? So listen. Yeah. From 19 how long back when I was born, grew up in Kingston, Calabar education, take flight, near Jamaica, quoting no weapon formed against me shall prosper, didn't trust being airborne, thank God, Bacalon, no in a different region, but no matter when me there, still got style and fashion, enough of the girl them still flock me, they see ya done, gargan, them curious, we see the bus not the front, girl, hold on, girl, hold on, girl, hold on. Listen, hold on. Girl, hold on. Girl, hold on. I and I like wine, age well over time. Concubines, they want feel get drunk on this long vine. Like Tarzan, me swing it pon them gal, yeah. Come climb on top, let me lay back and check out the skyline. Look on the Twin Towers, shake when them feel the power, the bombs. Explosion, climax, then collapse for me. Me say, they brave, she tear off on me, she couldn't wait, you say. Look on the way that me walk, me still got style. I and I still got style. Look on the way that me talk, me still got style. I and I still got style. Look on the way that me move, me still got style. I and I still got style. Look on the way that me groove, me still got style. I and I still got style. Look here. Yeah. From the ground up, Lady Miz and Ray. You know we there. New Louis in the building, aka New Levi. Listen, man, that's why I'm have to give you this reggae vibe, you know. But you know, some me I can hit you with some hip hop too. New Levi in the building, New Louis, light bearer, carrier of the light, Golden City. Manifest greatness. Any evil one come against me, but put them to rest. Cause I and I are the best. Lord of mercy. From the ground up, from the ground up, hey, from the ground up. Let's rise. From the ground up, from the ground up, from the ground up. Let's rise. Lighter in the air, lighter. Yeah. Yes.
Race and Shattuck. Check it out. It's already enough. Just keep you backs. Yo, welcome to the box where the real ones talk. FDG and MP where creators walk the walk. Step in the booth, let your soul unlock. No cap, just facts, let the cameras watch. Mic check, DJs, rappers, singers, and more. Sign the door like legends.
We hope you enjoyed your time with From the Ground Up Productions. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms.
From the ground up. From the ground up. There's There's only one way to go from here.